Hello Xeno fans, we've got a ton, and I mean a ton of new information about Xenoblade X Definitive Edition out of nowhere. That's because multiple websites and reviewers had the chance to get their hands on the game early. Nintendo, why wasn't I invited? I want to review Xenoblade X as well, please hit me up. Anyways, thanks to this preview that they got to play early, we've gotten so many quality of life improvements and general updates to the game that it's worthy of a video. It's clear that they put even more effort into this remaster than they did for Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition, and that they want this game to succeed. So, first things first, every source will be in the description below, and let's jump straight into the first site. Shoutouts to rpgsite.net for having one of the best overviews of the new quality of life improvements. We start off with a banger. You can change your party at any time now. This is huge. In the Wii U version, you had to look for them and remember where they were in all of New LA, then go there and talk to them to invite them into your party. And you had to do that every time you wanted to change your current setup. If that already sounds egregious, there was also a chance that they might not even be in their usual spot because of the time of day. Then you had to look for a bench because changing your time was also not possible in the menu, and then go back to them again. They fixed both of these issues. You can change the party and time of day at any point in a menu. Thank God. You might also notice that the Wii U version had 18 playable characters, but this new menu has 22 spots. This means we are getting at least 4 new playable characters. It's easy to assume that Nail will be one of them, and we can also count on the new girl who is piloting the Xenoblade, seeing how there were videos of the player controlling the scale. Hey, if you want to know who that could be, I can point you to my latest video that goes into detail about all the new characters and what we can expect to see. But for the remaining 2 spots, we can also assume that the lone hero might become playable as well. That leaves us with 1 spot that has no definitive answer. That does not mean that there aren't already theories about it. In a magazine that released a day or so ago in Japan, they had this extra poster of different characters, and people are speculating if this means that Jiarg will be playable. I personally think it's very possible that he is one of the new playable characters, but this poster also has Tatsu and Eleonora on it, so I don't think that's evidence enough. I guess we will have to wait and see. These are already enough reasons to make it a definitive edition, but we only just started. The RPG site article also mentions that all characters will gain EXP even if they are not actively in the party. As I mentioned, the Wii U version had 18 party members, and now we have to deal with 22, and it was super cumbersome to level them all up individually. You could not change the party to whomever you wanted because you had to level them all up first. Not only did they improve that, they also went ahead and made it so that affinity levels fill up way more quickly. These are also super important to actually enable most of the side content of this game, and this game is all about side content. The majority of the story is hidden in the side content, and most people never got to do it all because of the harsh requirements. If you get your hands on X in the future, promise me that you heed my words. Do the side content. This is not like any other Xenoblade games, and rushing through the main story will not satisfy you. And it looks like they made sure it was easier than ever to be able to do that in the definitive edition. Next up, we already knew about the improved quest tracking and the new story elements, but the article mentions one important thing here. There is no separate launcher or menu to access the new content. We already kinda figured it would be like that, but now it's confirmed, and all the new content will be available in the main game, and they will not be separated like in Future Connected. This means we have to think about the structure of the game as well. Will the game still have an ending cutscene and then continue to add chapters later on, or will they restructure how the game ends now? And when will we meet Nail? I'm pretty confident that she is not post-game stuff and that we will get to meet her way early in the story. and she could be relegated to side content, but they also could have restructured the whole game. From what we know, the first 4 chapters that the reviewers got to play seem to be the same though. Okay, after all the great improvements, there's now a massive change that is a bit more divisive. Blade levels and division points are gone completely. For people who don't remember or know what this means, basically there are these treasure and probe points all over Mira that require field skills to access. This is not the same as Xenoblade 2, but similar. You had to level up your mechanical, biological and archaeological skills up to level 5 to access everything. And you gained levels by doing missions based on the division you chose at the beginning of the game. This change now means that this feature is completely gone. On one hand, I think a lot of players will be happy to know that they can collect everything the first time they see it, kind of like Breath of the Wild, not requiring you to go back to the place later on, but for me, it removes a feature of the game that I loved. Divisions are hardly relevant at all in a playthrough. You can choose a division and change it at any time. It is just there for rewarding your playstyle. You can choose a division that focuses on exploration, like the Pathfinders, or if you like beating monsters, you can choose Harriers, etc. And its only real purpose was to gain blade level points and reward you with upgrades. With these upgrades gone, now the divisions only serve to gain division rewards, which are useless with the exception of like scale fuel. In my opinion, they could have lowered the field skill requirements for a lot of the treasure and still kept the system intact. Not only did we get rid of a fun system, I think it could also introduce balancing issues because level 4 treasures had really good items that now can be accessed right away. They may have to replace chest rewards with this change as well. An asterisk to that is that they say it's not gone completely. What this means to me is probably we start at level 4 with everything and the level 5 skill still has to be unlocked by doing the mission that was also in the Wii U version. Hey, at least we didn't lose the mission to that, okay? Speaking of changing rewards, they added something new as well. By completing map segments and upping your map percentage by exploring and planting probes, etc., you can now also gain rewards and something completely new. Energy clips. These will allow you to upgrade your cooldown meter, so it's definitely worth doing. Speaking of quick cooldowns, we were already introduced to the concept in the old trailers. It allows you to reuse an art that you already used and is on cooldown. This will speed up the early game significantly, and now we have even more information about it. The meter will always recharge at the end of a battle. This means you will start every battle with the bar already full and you will only be able to use it so many times before it runs out. You are able to recharge the bar during battles by auto-attacking, but it does not look like it fills up a lot. Maybe you can gain one extra charge during a long battle, but the strategy will be to use it in moderation and only in important moments. I want to switch over to a YouTuber who also got to play the game early and see how you can easily abuse quick cooldown in the early game. Shoutouts to this channel, which I won't try to pronounce out of respect, who uploaded 30 minutes of XDE footage. Go give it a look if you are interested. In this clip you can see them spamming topple with quick cooldown, basically topple locking the enemy all by himself. It never was this easy before. Let's hope it does not break early game too much. Next up is another YouTube channel called BRCD-EVG, who uploaded 16 minutes of footage as well. They go over all the menus and the map. We can see how the map is not split up by continents anymore and we can scroll freely around, thankfully. Then we also get to see the new skill, arts, soul voice and equip menus. They all look fantastic and improved. If there are any new skills or arts that are seen here, I am the wrong person to ask about it. If you see anything new here, please let me know. The most important part is around here. The game now comes with 3 separate save slots and an autosave. Thank God for the autosave. You can easily lose yourself for hours in this game, and it happened to me and many others that they lost their progress because of stupid reasons. We are still not done with improvements. Next up, let's go to Twitter and shout out Shack News. They uploaded footage of the title menu and the options. Sadly, it still takes 10 seconds for the title screen to pop up. I now have to wonder if that's somehow intentional, even though it looks wrong. We can also see that they played the version 1.0.1, which is funny because the game is getting updates before even releasing. There's still a chance for more updates before the release in a month. But the most interesting part about the title screen is actually what is not seen here. There is no room to add an event theater. Every Xenoblade game since 2 had this feature, and I was sure it would be here as well, so it's strange to see it missing. There is a chance that it's a feature in the game that you have to activate on the console, or that they just add the minus button option on the title screen to go to the theater, but we can't know for sure. Other than that, the options menu is completely redone and adds a ton more options. We can't even see all of them because you have to scroll down to see them all. Interesting things to point out here are, of course, they added volume sliders and also an option to seemingly change the scale flight music. A lot of people wish to turn it off, and it seems to be an option now, even though it was already kind of fixed in Definitive Edition by making you able to jump without triggering the music in a scale. But more interestingly, it seems to have even more options than disabling it. Could arranged lyrics suggest that there's now an instrumental version of Don't Worry? The Xenoblade X soundtrack has a lot of unused instrumental versions of other tracks, but none for Don't Worry, so either Savano came back to rearrange the song, or we can choose an entirely different song too. There's also an option that I can't quite figure out myself. Under Battle UI, there's the option to turn on Remember Ally Orders, which I can only theorize is about the battle tactics menu, which lets you command the party to focus on specific things like saving TP, going for only ranged weapons, etc. Maybe turning this on will make them remember the settings for every battle, and if you want them to go back to normal you have to manually command it again. Next we can see they uploaded the whole opening cinematic of X, and it's just the same as the Wii U version, with literally no changes whatsoever. Even the RS that has a new updated design in the last trailer has the old model in the opening. This does not mean anything, it's just an observation. They didn't need to change it, and if they wanted to retcon anything, it would not be in this cutscene but in a later revelation. And finally, we get to see the character creator again. Bad news first. The chest slider is confirmed to be gone. I don't understand how this got through Monolith Soft, but it has now been removed from every version of the game. It's not a deal breaker, but it's actually embarrassing to remove a normal customization feature of a game that allows you to create your own avatar, while other games in the industry allow you to scale your balls. You can't recreate characters faithfully in this version, and I hope they update this at one point, or else I can't play as Nia even though they added her hairstyle in the game. Let's stick to that for now, because even though this feature is removed, we have so much more customization options in Definitive Edition. As previously mentioned, they have Nia's hairstyle, but GamerGen.com shows us that there's even more to this feature. The Pyra and Mithra hairstyles have a special option to enable their crowns instead of giving them an ahoge. And with this, they also confirmed that we will get Marlos and Mio hairstyles as well. The custom option probably enables Mio's braid. If you are wondering why there are no cat ears on her, it will most definitely be an accessory that you can get in the game. The Wii U version had high-end tier wings, and they will surely add Gomotti ears now as well. Twitter user Magic2100 also already confirmed Shulk gets a hairstyle as well. And I think this is only the beginning. X was already heavy on Xenoblade 1 references when it came out, and now it has so much more to pull from. I want to see hairstyles from A, Rex, Laura, and so many more. I should also mention that changing the language from English to Japanese, or the other way around, prompts you to pick a new voice for your avatar every time. This is the case because there are more Japanese actors than English voice actors available. I also checked if they added any new voice actors, but they are all the same. Another shout out to Nintendo Difference that has like 100 new pictures as well. Some important takeaways here are that it seems that monsters now have different color coding the stronger they get. 10 levels higher than you and they are yellow, while 20 levels higher gives them a red bar and probably over 30 gives them a purple look. There is also a new option for your online avatar to give them a title. The screenshot is in French, but you can still make out Arcsage, Ionios, Agnes and Kevis as options. There's also a database menu that has descriptions and tutorials for various stuff. And the title screen actually shows your customized avatar now. Isn't that great? Lastly, let's talk about Nintendo Live's coverage. They also already have 2 amazing videos you can watch on YouTube, with one of them being a comparison video. A lot of new stuff to see, but the important part is hidden in the article. It's actually a big deal, but you have to look for it to find it. Right here. We should also mention, for returning blades, that you can no longer ghost through vehicles and skells in downtown New Los Angeles. The Switch can handle it, no problemo. This has bothered a lot of people. In the Wii U versions you could clip through the cars, but they have collisions now. I've been desperately looking for any video that shows what happens if you get hit by a car, but I sadly could not find anything. Are you gonna get knocked back or does the car simply stop? I need to know. If you have seen footage, let me know. There is probably more to come, but I will wait until there's enough to talk about before making another video. You can follow me on Twitter to get the updates live, by the way, but that's about it for today. I remember Takashi saying that porting Xenoblade X would be too expensive and they would need a good reason to do it. And now here we are with one of the best updated games in their catalog. I honestly feel like this will be their most optimized, smoothest and fullest game ever, and so many more people can finally enjoy it. March 20th can't come fast enough. So, quick outro. You know what to do. Don't go yet. Subscribe for more Xenoblade. Also, like this video. Do it for Nia.
Huh?